divisibility test by 7. So if any number is divisible by 7 or not, we will check its divisibility by 7. For example, 84. So what is the process? So our step 1 is multiply the last digit by 2, and step 2, subtract from the remaining digits. If this difference is 0 or divisible by 7, then our number will be divisible by 7. So let's see. So the last digit is 4. We will multiply 4 by 2, we get 8, and if we subtract 8 from the remaining digit, 8 minus 8 is 0, so 84 is divisible by 7. Similarly, if we take suppose 147, so here the last digit is 7, we will multiply it by 2, we get 14, and if we subtract 14 by the remaining digits, we get 0, hence 147 is also divisible by 7. If we take one more example, suppose 156, so here last digit is 6, we will multiply 6 by 2, we get 12. Now if we subtract the remaining digit by 12, we get 3, and 3 is not divisible by 7, hence the entire number is not divisible by 7. That's it. Thank you. Divisibility test by 13. So in this video we will be seeing the divisibility test by 13. So most of the students are often confused in this, so let's see how we will do this. So suppose a number is there 143, so how to know that this number is divisible by 13 or not? So the steps we will be following is step 1, multiply last digit of the number by 4. Step 2, add this to the remaining digits of the number. Now the sum that we get, if it is either 0 or divisible by 13, then our entire number will be divisible by 13. So let's work out with our example. So here the last digit is 3, we will multiply 3 by 4, we will get 12. If we add 12 to 14, we will get 26, and we know that 26 is divisible by 13, so our number 143 is also divisible by 14. Let's take another example. Suppose 273, here the last digit is 3. Let's multiply it by 4. We get 3 into 4, 12. If we add 27, the remaining digits with the number we got 12, we get 39. And we know that in 13's table 39 comes in the third multiplication. So our parent number 273 is also divisible by 13. So thank you. So let's see how to find the number of trailing zeros at the end of n factorial. So questions are like, what is the number of trailing zeros in 100 factorial, 30 factorial, 50 factorial? In those questions you can't just multiply and see the number of trailing zeros. So here what we basically do is we count the number of 5s. Why? Because the multiplication of 5 with any of the even number will give you 0, and we know that like in 100 factorial we will get at least 50 even numbers. So there is no shortage of even number. So you just need to find the multiples of 5 and you will get the number of trailing zeros. So to find the multiples of 5, what we will do is, suppose n factorial, we have a formula n by 5 floor function n by 5 square plus n by 5 cube and so on. So floor function, if there is an integer inside it, we will get the integer as it is, and if there is an integer which lies between two integers, we will get the value which is the lower of the integer. 7, 8.7, again we will get 8, like floor integer of the greatest integer function or floor integer function. So let's take an example. So for example, suppose 100 factorial. So we have to find the number of zeros in this. So the formula will be 100 by 5 plus 100 5 square plus 100 5 cube plus 100 5 4 and so on. So after this, you know that this is lying between 0 and 1, so the floor value will be 0. Here also it is 100 by 125, so it is also 0 between 0 and 1, so here also floor value will be 0. Here it is giving 20, so our greatest integer value of this will be 20. Here it is 25 divided by 100, which is 4. So what we are getting 20 plus 4 plus 0 0, okay, so 24. So we can say that the total number of trailing zeros in 100 factorial is 24. So I think you have understand the concept. Thank you. So today we will see this new concept, cyclicity of numbers. So these types of questions you have often seen in the exam, like 2 to the power 54, what is the unit digit? Similarly, unit digit of 2 to the power 323, similarly unit digit of this multiplication, and similarly unit digit of these types of problems. So you can't manually find, you can multiply. These numbers are so big that you can't try even to multiply so big number. So we will see how we will do this. Suppose unit digit of 2 to the power 363. So in this case, what we will see is that if we take suppose 2 to the power 1 is 2 at unit digit, 2 to the power 2 is 4 at unit digit, 2 to the power 3 is 8, 2 to the power 4 is 16, so 6 is at unit digit, 2 to the power 5, then we get 32, so 1 2 is at unit digit. So you will see that after 4 it has started repeating. 2 to the power 6 is 64, see again it has started repeating. 2 to the power 7 is 128, see again it has started repeating. So 2, 4, 8 and 6, these are the cyclicity table of 2, that if we suppose 2 to the power 1 is last digit is 2, 2 to the power 5 the last digit will be again be 2, 2 to the power 9 again the last digit will be 2. So after every fourth interval we will find the 2 as repeating unit place. Similarly, if 2 to the power 2 is 4, 2 to the power 6 will be also 4, and 2 to the power, suppose 14 will be also 4. So by this is the cyclicity table for most of the numbers, like from 1 to 10. So we don't need to learn them, because in a question anyhow we will have sufficient time to see the last digit. So this is the question that I will be trying to solve, and it will clear most of your concepts. So let's see how to deal with such questions. So here 11 to the power 11, 12 to the power 12, so it is a sum and we have to find the last digits. So for unit digits, you don't have to worry about the tens place digit. Okay, so just eliminate that. So we can write it like this: 4 to the power 14 and 5 to the power 15. Now we will find for every digit we will see what is the cyclicity. So for 1 we know that at a unit place we will get 1 only. For 2 we know that when it is 2 to the power 1 is 2, 2 to the power 2 is 4, 3 is 8, 2 to the power 4 is 6, and again 2 to the power 5 we get 1. So here at 12, so 12 will be multiple of 4, so we will get 6 at unit place. Now if we see for 3, so for 3 square 9, 3 27, so 7 is the last digit, 3 4 81, so 1 is the last digit. So if you find, again it will start repeating. 5 is 243, so 3 here last, which is repeated. 4. Okay, so for 13, like for in the 3 to the power 4 we will get 1. So if we divide 13 by 4, so we will get 1 as remainder. So means at 1, again at 1 we will have to come. So 3 will be the unit place digit. Similarly for 4, if we see 4 square is 16, so 6 we will at the final unit place. 4 cube is 64, so again we will 4, so either we will get 4 or 6. So here the cyclicity of 4 is either 4 or 6. So when it is odd number we get 4, and when it is even number we get 6. So here we can see even power, so we will get 6. And for 5, if we see that at any power of 5 we get 5 only at units place. Oh, like here also 25, so we will get 5. So now it has become very easy. So we just have to see the repetitions that occur. So this 1 plus 6 7, 7 plus 3 10, 10 plus 6 16, 16 plus 5 21. So 1 is the answer. 1 is at the unit place. So I think you have understood the concept, and you can practice more questions based on this concept. So I will see if I could add more questions in later videos. Thank you. So let's see remainder theorem. So whenever expression, suppose a into b into c is divided by n, then the remainder of this expression is equal to AR into BR into CR divided by n. So what is AR, BR and CR? So AR is remainder when A is divided by n, and BR is remainder when B is divided by n, and CR is remainder when C is divided by n. So for better understanding, let's see an example. So suppose 15, 17 into 19 is divided by 7. So 15, 17 into 19 is divided by 7, and we have to find the remainder of this. Take, so its remainder will be equal to the remainder if this is divided by 15, and what is the remainder? It will give the same remainder. So you can see into R 17 7 into R 19 7 by 7. So this difficult expression which was looking like a scary one, AR, BR and CR, is what it was nothing but when we divide the denominator 7 to the numerator and what the remainder we get, so both the expression will have the same remainder. So you should fit this thing in the mind. So this will help you to visualize. So here what will be our remainder? 1. here what will be our remainder? 7 and 7 to the 14, so here our remainder is 3, and here our remainder is 5. So if we see, so net 3 into 5 is 15 by 7. So in this case, what is the remainder? 1. So now we will see a better question, like a more difficult question, so that we can have a good practice. So what is the remainder when 9 to the power of 100 by 7 is this? So we can expand 9 to the power of 100 as 9 into 9 into 9, how many times? 100 times, divided by 7. So each time we have, if it will be giving the same remainder as 7 is divided by 9, so it will give, when 7 is divided by 9, it will give 2. Again it will give, 7 is divided by 9, it will give 2. Similarly, how many times? 100 times. Okay, so what will be our to the power of 100? 7. So we can see that 9 to the power of 100 by 7, whatever the remainder is, it is equal to 2 to the power of 100 by 7. If you can understand till this, then the next part is going to be like repetitions. So like 2 to the power of 100. So if of 100 we take out 5 and 20 outside, we are using actually the exponent one, so we are having no problem. So we are not going to write this r repeatedly. So 2 to the power 5 will give us 32 to the power 20 by 7. So again, when we divide 7 to 32, we will get remainder 4. So it will be equal to the remainder given by expression, 4 to the power 20 by 7. Okay, so 4 to the power 20 by 7. Now, so we will take again 4 square and 10. So we will get 16 to the power 10 by 7. Same remainder. So when 7 is divided by 16, we get 2 as remainder. 2 to the power 10 by 7. Again, if we take 5 inside of the power, 2 to the power 5, 2, 7. So again 32 square 7. So if 7 is divided by 32, we get 4 square by 7. So at last we are getting 4 square by 7 as a remainder. So 4 square will be 16, and 16 is divided by 7, we get 2 as remainder. So our net final answer is 2. So that's it. I think this was clear. So if there is any doubt, you can rewatch the video, so it will give you a better understanding. I think I have tried my best. Let's see if I could give further examples in future videos. So thanks. So let's say, suppose a number, composite number, is 75. So we can find the prime factor of this number. So if the prime factorization is written, then it is 5 square into 3 to the power 1. So any composite number can be expressed as a prime factorization. So suppose if let's generalize this concept. If suppose a number n is there, so p1 power lambda 1, p2 power lambda 2, p3 power lambda 3, so on. So the total number of factors will be lambda 1 plus 1 into lambda 2 plus 1 into lambda 3 plus 1, and so on, where lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3 are the powers of the prime factors. Similarly, if the product of the factors is asked, then the number n itself to the power of the total number of factors divided by 2. This is the total number of factors, lambda 1 plus 1, lambda 2 plus 1, lambda 3 plus 1 in multiplication form divided by 2. So let's see, and we will understand this in a better way. So suppose a number 75. So these are the factors of 75. 1 is a factor, 3, then 5, then 15, then 25, then 75. So total 6 factors are there. So how to make up a formula from this? So we can find the prime factorization first. 5 15 bar 15 ja, then 5 3 times. So if you write 75 in prime factor form, then 5 squared into 3 power 1. So there are two prime factor of 75, 5 and 3, and the power is 2 and 1. So the total, if we find the total number of factors, then we know that it is 2 plus 1 into 1 plus 1, which is 3 into 2, 6. You can verify this. We have seen the 6 factors, and this by fit this formula also we get 6. And if we want to find the product of the factors, product of all the factors of 75, then let's see. So 1 into 3 into 5 into 15 into 25 into 75. Now watch very carefully. So if we multiply the first factor with the last one, 1 into 75, you get 75. Now multiply the second factor with the second last one, 3 into 25, you get 75. Now multiply the third factor with the third last, again 5 into 75, 5 into 15, you get 75. So you can see that you get 75 each times. So the value will be 75 to the power of the total number of factors divided by 2. Like you have to, we are pairing, we are getting how many pairs. So here we have got 3 pairs. So power 3 means the total number of factors which you have got by this formula, lambda 1 plus lambda 2 lambda 3 plus 1, total number of factors divided by 2 in power form. N is the number itself. So let's see one more example. Suppose this is a question 360. You can't find the factors of this number individually, or so let's see how we will proceed this by the formula. So number of factors, so we will find the prime factor 180, then 2 times divide 90, then 2 times 45, then 5 times 9, then 3 times 3. So 360 can be written as 2 cube into 5 power 1 3 square. So there are total 3 prime factor, and these are the powers of the prime factor. So now the total number of factors will be, number of factors of 360 will be 3, the first power plus 1 into the second power which is 1 plus 1, the third power which is 2 plus 1. You get 4 into 2 into 3, which is 24. So you don't have to find the number of factors individually. So you can just use this formula, you got 24. So what will be the product of these factors? Product of all factors of 360. So you know that we will again find the pairs. So our formula was the number itself 360 to the power of total number of factors divided by 2, and we know that there are 24, then it will be 24 divided by 2, which will be 12. 360 power 12 will be answer. So I hope you may have cleared your doubt on these types of questions, and you can easily go through these questions. Thank you. So suppose now we are going to see percentage increase or decrease. So if suppose any number is 200, what will happen if we increase it by 20%, or suppose if we decrease it by 20%. So in this case we can simply multiply 200 into 1.2, or in this case we can simply multiply 200 by 0.8. So what we are doing, why we are multiplying it by 1.2? So if we see 200 plus 200 into 20%, so if we expand it 20 into 100, we can, and if we take 200 common, we will get 1 plus 20 by 100, that is 200 into 1.2. So if we have to increase 200 by 10%, then we will multiply by 1.1, so it will increase 10% increase. Similarly, if we multiply it by 1.2, it will increase by 20%. If we increase 200 by 1.3, it will increase by 30%. Similarly, if we want to decrease by 10%, decrease, in that case we will multiply it by 0.9. okay, that is, we will see how this happens. So suppose 200 minus 200 into 10%. So here also we will take 200 minus 200 into 10 by 100. If we take 200 common, we get 1 by 10 by 100, and if we find, it will be 200 into 1 minus 0.1. So we saw if 200 suppose is decreased by 20%, so what we will do, we will simply multiply it by 0.8. okay, so this is the thing. Like suppose there is any number, suppose x, if we want to increase it by 10%, multiply it by 0.1, increase it by 20%, multiply by 1.2, or suppose increase by 40%, multiply by 1.4. now on the other hand, if you want to decrease it by 10%, multiply by 0.9, decrease by 20%, multiply by 0.8, and if you want to decrease by suppose 60%, in that case multiply by 1 minus 0.6, that is 0.4. so you can use these to directly calculate without going too much into following the steps, because these are very easy and it will shoot up your calculation speed. So let's see compound interest. So compound interest is nothing but successive percentage. So let's see how we will derive the equation of compound interest, and we will see that how easy it is. So suppose a number a is increased by x%, then we know that a plus a into x by 100, this one, if we take out a common from here, then we will get this result. So just keep this in mind. Similarly, if a is decreased by y%, then a minus a into y by 100, so a we will take out common, so this factor we will get. So whenever we have to increase a by x%, we will multiply by 1 plus x by 100, and whenever we will decrease by y%, we will multiply by factor 1 minus y by 100. So this is the what I was talking about. If a is increased by x%, we will multiply by this factor 1 plus x by 100, and if it is decreased by y%, we will multiply it by 1 by y by 100, and if it is increased again by z% suppose, so the final answer will be this. So we will use this to derive our compound interest formula. So whenever you have to increase any number by 10%, just multiply it by 1.1. Whenever you have to increase it by 20%, multiply it by 1.2. And whenever you have to decrease by 30%, suppose, then just multiply by 0.7, that is 1 minus 0.3. So these values are actually the result coming from this formula only, and we will see that how we will use the successive percentage method to find the equation of compound interest. So let's come to compound interest. So compound interest is nothing but, this is the principal amount p. If r% is increased in first year, then according to successive percentage formula, we have to multiply by 1 plus r by 100. If second year, if it increase again by r%, then we will again multiply by 1 plus r by 100. So this time it will come squared. Again, if on the third year it increase by r%, so we will again multiply by 1 plus r by 100 multiplier, and this time we will get power 3. Okay, so after, similarly, if we do this for n years, so we will at last multiply it by, we will get this result. Okay, So we know that compound interest is the final amount minus initial amount, which is the principal. So if we put this in the equation here, in this equation, so we get the formula for compound interest, which is this one. So most probably we have just mugging up this formula from our childhood. So this was the basic proof of this. So you will get very easy to do these questions. So let's see a question. So here principal amount is given 2000, rate is 5% per year, time is 3 years. So we have to find the difference between compound interest and simple interest. So let's first find the simple interest. Simple interest is, we know, P into R into T by 100. So P is 2000, R is 5 and T is 3 by 100. So if we cancel out the zeros, we get 300. Okay, now let's find compound interest. So compound interest, we know formula is P into 1 plus R by 100 power n minus P. So P we have 2000, 1 plus R is 5 by 100 power 3 minus 2000. So again 2000 into 1 point plus 1.05 power 3 minus 2000. So further solving this, we get our answer 315.25. So what we are asked in the question, that the difference we have to find of simple interest and compound interest. So compound interest is 315.25 minus simple interest is 300. So at last, what is our difference? 15.25 rupees. So I hope you have understood whatever I have taught you. Thank you. Today let's see some questions on time and work. So all time and work questions depend on one single thing, that is capacity. So capacity of doing work is work done by time taken. So in most of the question we will finding the capacity, so it will make our question like solving easier. So to find capacity, we assume the work as some unit, like 10 units, 100 units or 1000 units, because similar things we have done in percentage chapter, like we assume percentage to be 100%, or many times we assume money to be 100 rupees. So why are we assuming this work? Because it will easy down our overall solving process, and it will be like we don't have to deal with too much of fractions, and it will be done very easily. So in most of the case we take LCM of the numbers given in the questions, so that it can easily be cancelled, and the numbers can easily be cancelled, and we don't have to go into deal with fractions. So for example, let's take an example. So A can do a work in 30 days, B can do a work in 40 days, and C can do a work in 60 days. So in question it is asked, then if A and B and C works together, then how much long it will take to complete the work. So here what we will do, we see that if we assume work, let work done, like total work be how much? 120 units. So why I have taken 120 units? Because 120 is easily divisible by 30, 40 and 60. So if 120 units of work is total and A takes 30 days, so what is the capacity of A? Capacity of A, 120 units by time, 30 days, so 4 units per day. Okay, so 4 units per day. Similarly for B will take 3 units per day, because he has taken 40. So 120 divided by 40, we get 3 units per day. Similarly for C, we will divide 120 by 60, so we will get 2 units per day. And total at end, if they work together, then we will add these 4, 3 and 2. So 4, 3, 7 and 2, 9. So 9 units per day. So their efficiency is 9 units per day, and our total work that we assumed was 120 units. So total time, how much it will take? 120 units divided by 9 unit per day. So 120 by 9 days. So we will take one more question so that we can understand. So here you can see if A does a work in 30 days and A and B together can do the work in 12 days, so how much days B will take if B alone does the work? So you can pause this video and try it by yourself. So okay, now let's start doing this. So we will take some number that is easily divisible by 12 and 30. So let work be 60 units, because we can see that 60 is divisible by 30. So what will be the capacity of A? So capacity of A is, actually we don't have to calculate also, we can directly see. So 60 divided by 30, so 2 units per day. And for A plus B, 60 divided by 12, so it will be 5 units per day. Okay, so if A does 2 units per day and both does 5 units per day, then what will be the capacity of B? So 5 minus 2, that is 3 units per day, and our work was 60 units. So time taken by B will be 60 divided by 3, so it will be 20 days. So I hope that you can see that if we assume work to be some divisible number, then it will be making our overall process easier, and we don't have to deal with fractions. So thank you. So in the last video we saw the concept of work and time. So similar to that concept, there are two more concepts: the concept of negative work and pipe and cistern questions. So we have seen that in such type of question, first we used to calculate the capacity, because it is the most important thing to easy our questions, to make our question easy. So capacity is work by time, or in case of pipes and cistern, it will be volume by time. So how much volume is emptied or how much volume is filled per unit time. So we will see in the question, and it will become more clear. So we will assume work and volume like 10 units or 100 units or 1000 units. We used to do these things in percentage chapter and other chapters also, like let the percentage be 100%, or let the MRP of certain good be 100 rupees, in order to quickly solve the question. So it will also help us. We will see how. So let's suppose there is a question: A is building a house and it takes 10 days for A to build the house. B builds the same house in 12 days and C destroys the house in 20 days. So we want to find the time taken if A, B and C together build the house. It means A and B are building the house, and C is at the same time destructing the house. So we will take the work we will assume work as some units, like how much unit of work is required. So we will take work such that it divides these three numbers. So we will take work to be 60 units. Why we have taken 60 units? So that it can easily cut from 10, 12 and 20. So what will be the capacity of A? By our question, capacity of A will be 60 units by how much days? 10 days. So 6 unit per day. So we will write 6 unit per day. Similarly for B, it will be 60 divided by 12, it will be 5 units per day. And C does 60 units of work in 20 days, so it will be 3 unit per day. But here we will put a negative sign. Why? Because C is actually destroying the house. So if we consider their combined capacity, so it will be 6, 5 and minus 3. So it will be 6, 5, 11 minus 3, 8 units per day if they do the work together, 8 units per day. So what will be the final time taken? So total work we have taken 60 units, okay, and our combined efficiency is 8 units per day. So the final time will be 60 by 8 days. So we will see one more question. So now let's see one more example. So here this is a pipe and cistern type problem. So here is a tank. So A is a pipe that is filling the tank, and B is the pipe that is emptying the tank. So we can see that A fills the tank in 10 hours and B empties the tank in 15 hours. So we will assume some volume of this tank. Volume, how much? We will assume it such that it easily divides 10 and 15. So we will, suppose we will assume 30 units because it can easily divide both. Why 30 units? Because it can be liter, it can be meter cube, anything like same thing, or ml, just unit. So what will be the rate at which A is filling the tank? We will find the rate as volume divided by time. So for A, rate will be 30 units by how much? 10 hours. So it will be 3 units per hour plus 3 units per hour. And B is emptying the tank. So 30 will be divided by 15, so it will be 2 units per hour. But we will take a minus sign, minus 2 units per hour. Why? Because it is emptying the tank, because it is doing positive work and it is doing negative work. So what will be their combined combined rate? So 3 plus and minus 2, it will be 1 unit per hour. So it will be 1 unit per hour. So we can see that the total our volume, how much we have assumed? 30 units, and our combined rate is 1 unit per hour. So how much time it will take? 30 by 1, it will take 30 hours. But 30 hours to fill the tank completely. In our question it is said 2 by 3rd. So we will multiply it by 2 by 3. So it should be around 20 hours. So I hope you understand this. So thank you. So let's see the concept of man day. So here you just have to consider man day as a unit of work, just like we know that joule is a unit of work, but here we have to consider man day as a unit of work. Don't think much, just you have to believe this, and you will find why it is very helpful in doing questions. So in man day work problems, we know that when we increase the number of mans, so the number of days to do the work will decrease, and if we decrease the number of mans, the time taken or the number of days to do the work will increase. So we can say that man is that inversely proportional to day. Okay, so if we remove the proportionality, we know that a constant will come. So man into day will be a constant. So if m1 and d1 is the first man and the number of time days he took, and m2 is the second man, then d2 will be the number of time it will took. This will serve as a formula for us for solving the questions. Similarly, if man, day and hour, which is the rate of doing the work, or so it is given in the question, so we will use this formula m1 d1 h1 is equal to m2 d2 h2, where m1 is number of man, d1 is the number of days, and h1 is the rate at which the work is done. So let's see the questions, so you will understand it better. So let's see an example. It will give you a better understanding of whatever we have seen in the above slide. So if any work is done by 3 men, so 8 days are taken. So the question is, if 7 men does the work, then how many days it will take? So we know that when number of men will increase, so number of days will decrease. So let's put our formula m1 d1 is equal to m2 d2. m1 is 3 into days is 8, m2 is 7, and number of days d2 can be find. So d2 will be 3 into 8, 21 by 7, that is 24 by 7 days. So we have seen this question. So next question, if we see, is suppose a work is to build a building. So 45 men does this work in 30 days and at rate of 12 hours per day. Okay, I told you that hour is the rate of doing work. Similarly, doing the same work 60 men at the rate of 10 hours per day. So how many days they will take? This is the question. So we know we have had a formula m1 d1 h1 is equal to m2 d2 h2. So we will put the values 45, 30, 12, and here 60, d2 we don't know, and h2 is 10. So 0 0 we will cut. So what will be the value of d2? 45 into 12 by 60. So we will calculate, and this will be the answer. Okay, let's calculate. 3, 4, 3, so 9 days. So So I hope you all have understood the concept. Thank you. Let's see how to solve the clock aptitude questions. So you have seen these types of questions in reasoning exams, like what is the time, if the time, find the time between 3 and 4 p.m. when the angle between hour hand and minute hand is about 50 degree, or the angle between minute hand and hour hand at 2:25 p.m. or am. Okay, so these types of questions we will see how to deal with those questions. So we will derive this to further make a formula for our questions. So we know that an hour hand, which is this is the hour hand, makes 360-degree rotation in how much long? It takes 12 hours to rotate 360 degree. So 1 hour, how much it will rotate? 360 by 12, that is 30 degree. So 30 degree per hour. So that what I have written. So keep this thing in mind, because I will be needing this. Or 30 degree per hour can also be written as like 0.5 degree per minute. Okay, so and velocity of the minute hand. So if velocity of the minute hand we try to calculate, so we know that minute hand, which is the longer hand of the clock, rotates 360 degree in how much minutes? 60 minutes. So in 1 minute how much it will rotate? 360 degree by 60, that is 6 degree. So that's why this 6 degree per minute, this equation. So now derive our formula, main formula. So let's see the derivation of our main formula that we will be using for solving our questions. So theta is this. So we will see how the derivation works. So if time is given h hour and m minute, so we have already seen that the speed of hour hand was 30 degree per hour in last slide, and speed of minute hand was 6 degree per minute. So theta 1 is the angle traveled by the hour hand in h hour and m minute. So in h hour it will cover 30 into h, and in m minute it will cover further, we know that 0.5 degree per minute, so it will cover 1/2 into m. So you can see the expression over here. So similarly theta 2 is the angle covered by the minute hand. So minute hand travels at a speed of 6 degree per minute. So in m minutes it will cover 6m. So we will find the difference between theta 1 and theta 2. So when we find the difference between theta 1 and theta 2, we will see that we get this expression. So this is our final expression, and it will be needed for problem solving. It is very important. You can even skip the proof part, because it is not that important. It is just for a better understanding. So let's solve this question. So what is the angle between hour hand and minute hand at 2:25? So we will always take this as h is equal to 2, and this is m, 25. So what was our equation? Let's see. It was 30h minus 11/2 m. 30h minus 11/2 m. 30 into h is 2 minus 11/2 m is 25. Okay, so 60 minus this is 275/2 mod. So if we see 120 minus 275 mod, so it will be around 155/2 or 77.5 degree, our final answer. I hope you have understood. So let's see one more question to make you more clear. So find the time between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. when angle between the hour hand and minute hand is 50 degree. So when angle is given 50 degree, we have to find the time. So h and m is not given, but we know that we will always take h is equal to 3, because 3 p.m. is given. So h is 3, we don't know m. So let's put it in our formula. 30h minus 11/2 m. So our angle is 50. 30 into 3 minus 11/2 m. If we remove mod, plus minus 50 will come this side. 90 minus 11/2 m. So if we find 11 by 2 m from here. So taking this side and this one this side, so 90 plus minus 50. 11 by 2 m is equal to 90 plus minus 50. So if we do once, it will be 140 and once it will be or 40. Okay, 11 by 2 m. So m, if we do it 280 by 11 or 80 by 11, so we will get 2 times at which this angle will come. So h is our how much? 3. So our final answer will be 3, 280 by 11 or 380 by. At these 2 times the angle will be theta will be 50 degree. So this is our answer. So I hope you have understand. So thank you. So let's see what is an arithmetic progression. So quantities are said to be in AP if they increase or decrease by a common difference. So what does it mean? So suppose a number is there 1, 3, 5 and so on. This is a series. So here you can see that after each term it increases by 2. So this is the common difference, and like this other can be 1, 3, 1, -1, -3 and so on. So here each term is decreasing by -2. So any quantities which is said to be in AP if it increases or decreases by a common difference. So we will see more about it in. So suppose if the first term of AP is A and the second term is A plus D. D is the common difference by which it is increasing. Third term is A plus 2D and so on. So how we will find the nth term? Nth term. So you can see that the third term, this is the third term, and 2 can be written as 3 minus 1. Similarly, this is the second term, and here you can see that 2 minus 1 is over here. So similarly, if for nth term we will go, then A plus n minus 1 times D will be the nth term. You can put and check these values. Suppose A 3, so A plus 3 minus 1 to D, that is A plus 2D. If suppose you have to go for 8, 10, 10th term, then A plus 10 minus 1 D, which will be A plus 9D. So for example, let's take a question. Suppose 7, 14, 21, so on, and so we have to find the 100th term of this AP. Okay, so how you will find the 100th term? The first, what is the first term? First term is 7 and common difference D. It is the difference between second term and first term or any 2 terms. So you can see that 21 minus 14 is equal to 7, or you can minus this also. So 7 is the common difference. So what will be the 100th term? So you know that A plus n minus 1 D. Here A is 7 and n is 100. So 100 minus 1 times D, that is A plus 99D. You can write 7 in plus of A and 99 times of D is also 7. So if you do this, then you will get 700. Okay, now let's see how to find the sum of the terms of an AP. Suppose A plus D, A plus 2D, similarly to A plus n minus 1 D. This is the nth term. So you have to find the sum of all the terms of an AP. So how you will find? So let's say the sum will be S. A plus D plus a plus 2d, and similarly the last term is a plus n minus 1 times d. Now again write the same s, but this time don't write in this manner, left to right. This time we will write it from right to left. See, so we will write the last term in the first, a plus n minus 1 d in beginning. Then what will be the second last term? A plus n minus 2 times d, and so on, and the last term will be a. So now let's add both these. So you know that we can add two equations and there is no problem. So if you add this and these two equations, you get 2s on one side, and here if you add this to this, then you get a and a, 2a plus, and this is as it is, n minus 1 times d. Now again add this and this, so again you get a and a, 2a plus, here n minus 2, sorry, we have to add this n minus 2 and 1d, so you will get n minus 1 times d. Similarly it will be till last. So this, if you add this to this, you get 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, so you can see that these also are repeating. So how many times this number goes? 2a plus n minus 1 times of d, it repeats n times, so you will multiply it by n, 2s. So finally you bring this to this side. Okay, so if you bring this to this side, this will be your final formula for finding the sum of the AP. So let's see one question. So suppose AP is 7, 12, 17, 22, so on. Like you can see it is increasing by 5. So here the first term is 7, common difference is 5. So you have to find the sum till 100th term. So you know that the formula of AP is, sum of all the terms of AP is a plus n minus 1 times d. So let's put n 100, as 100 is equal to 100 by 2 plus a is 7 plus n minus 1 is 100 minus 1, that is 99, and d is 5. So if you simplify this, you get 50 over here. 50 into 7 plus 99 times 5, what it will be? 495, and this will become 50 into 502. So just multiply this and get the answer. So now we will see one more thing. What is a arithmetic mean? Arithmetic mean. So if A, B and C are in AP, then this middle term is called arithmetic mean. So let's find a expression or relation between all the three terms. So you can know that if A, B and C are in AP, then their common difference should be same. Like B minus A should be equal to C minus B. Now if you take B on left hand side, B plus B, and A on the right hand side, C plus A. So here you get 2B equal to C plus A. So B will be equal to C plus A by 2. So you can say that the arithmetic mean, that is B, is the mean of the first term and the second term. So I hope this has cleared all your doubt. So thank you for watching the video. So today let's see how to do the replacement questions. So questions like, suppose if milk is X liter in a vessel and Y liter of milk is replaced by Y liter of water, and this process is done n times. So what is the final amount of milk at the end of the process? So these types of questions, like you can't do these questions manually as it takes a lot of time. So we need a formula for this. So this is the formula that I need you to recall. Final amount is equal to initial amount and in bracket 1 minus replaced amount divided by initial amount and to the power of n, where n is the number of operations. N is the number of operations. Okay, so now let's see what is this, how to apply this formula. So there is a question, suppose 50 liter of milk is there and 8 liter of milk is taken out and replaced by water, and this process is repeated 4 times. So how you will deal with these questions? So we have our formula, initial amount into 1 minus y is the replaced amount and x is again the initial amount and to the power 4, because 4 is the number of operations. This operation has been done 4 times, so 4. So now putting the value, so what we can write, x is the initial amount which is 50 liter of milk into 1 minus the replaced amount is 8 and the initial amount is 50 again to the power of 4. Now if you simplify, you will get the final milk left in the container. So you can do the questions like this. So in rough you can see that if you try to do these questions manually, it will consume lot of times. Only to do 2 iterations, you can see the number of steps I have followed, and you have to do this for 4 times. So it will be very time taking process. So better to go with our formula. So like you can see the complexity of the problem, how it can take lot of your time. So let's see one more question. Question number 2. So there is amount of milk is not given here in the question. So 6 liter of milk is replaced by water, and this operation is done 2 times. So the final ratio of milk is to water is given, that is 9:16. So you have to find the quantity of mixture, final quantity of the mixture. So what we will do is that we will assume the initial volume of mixture as x liter, which is only milk, x liter. Then the final volume of the milk will be x, which is the initial amount, 1 minus 6, which is the replaced amount, divided by initial amount x again, and power is 2 because we have to do this operation 2 times. Okay, so our what is given, milk by water ratio is given 9:16. So milk by water ratio final is given 9:16. So what is the milk amount? So milk amount is this x into 1 minus 6 by x to power 2, and the amount of water is, you have to subtract the initial volume from the amount of milk to get the amount of water. X 1 minus 6 by x whole square equal to 9/6. Now you have to solve this equation for x. So let's solve it. X will be cancelled, so 1 minus 6 by x whole square by 1 minus 6 by x whole square, 9/16. Further solving it, let's flip it. 16 by 9, 1 minus 6 by x whole square by 1 minus 6 by x whole square. So here you will get 1 by dividing it, you get square minus 1, 16 by 9. So taking the 1 on the right hand side and adding it, you will get 1 minus. This will, when you will take this on the right side, you will get 25 by 9. So now let's take a square root on both sides. 1 by 1 minus 6 by x is equal to 5 by 3. Now just cross multiply it, 3, and here you get 5 minus 30 by x. Taking 30 by x on the left hand side and 5 minus 3, so you get 2 30 by x, you will get 15 liter. So the our final, whatever we have assumed in our question, that initial volume of the milk is x liter, which is 15 liter we have got. So now you can find the quantity of the mixture. So I hope that I was able to explain you the whole concept. So thank you. So today let's see mixture alligation problems. So this formula you have to keep in mind, that is Q1 by Q2 is equal to mod of m minus C2 by mod of m minus C1. So what is Q1 here? So Q1 is the quantity of substance 1. Similarly, Q2 is the quantity of substance 2. What is C1? It is the cost of substance 1. And C2, similarly, it is the cost of substance 2. M, what is M? So M is the cost of the final mixture. So we will see how we will be using this formula. So we will solve the question both by the formula as well as by a basic method. So let's see a problem. So you can see the problem. A substance, first substance is mixed to the second substance. So the cost price of the first substance is given as 60 per kg and the cost price of second substance is given 65 per kg. So the mixture final price is not given, that you have to find out, and also the ratio in which it is mixed you have to find out. It is so as the selling price of the mixture is given as 68.2 rupees per kg. So gain percent is given as 10%. So at first you have to find the CP of the mixture, which will be selling price divided by 1.1. Why we are dividing by 1.1? Because the gain is 10%. So when CP will be multiplied by 1.1, so you will get the SP. So here you can see SP you can write as 68.2 rupees per kg divided by 1.1. So when you divide it, you will get 62 rupees per kg. So now you have the cost price of the mixture and the individual prices also. You know you have to find out the ratio. So now let's see how we will find out the ratio. So we have seen that 60 was the first substance and 65 was the rate of the second substance, and the final mixtures rate was 62. The cost price we have got. We have to find the ratio of this x is to y. Suppose we have assumed, so 60x plus 65y is equal to divided by x plus y will be equal to 62. So either you can do this by this method. So let's calculate. So you will get 60x plus 65y is equal to 62x plus 62y. So you can take this in this side. So you get 3y here and 2x. So you get x is to y ratio as 3:2. So you can see I have done this by direct basic method. So you can also use the formula that I was saying you to use above. So Q1 by Q2, the formula was as m minus C2 by m minus C1. So here 2 and 2 are in opposite side. You have to keep in mind. Similarly 1 and 1 is in opposite side. Okay, so let's put the values. So the mixture rate was 62. The rate of the second one was 65. So 65. Similarly, the mixture was 62 and rate of first was 60. So on solving this you get 3 by 2, that is Q1 by Q2. So you can see that by both method you can get the answer as 3 by 2, that is the ratio of substance 1 and 2. So you can use any of the method, whichever you will feel easy. So you can either go with the formula method directly, or you can just use a simple basic and just assume x is to y and find out the answer. So I hope that you have understood the concept. So thank you.